And for those of you guys that have been watching my live streams, just an update. I know I haven't been around for live streams for a while, but that's because I went to New York for like a little over a week and it was super fun. I have a lot of content to upload and just like food places and stuff like that. I'll eventually upload just short videos. I guess it's still been kind of like strange for me, the fact that I can even do these live streams, because I'm still in the middle of trying to get my main channel back, Living with Lucy, which obviously got deleted March 30th. Yesterday, I just spoke to another Google support agent, and I was like, you know, it's been a while. It's been some time. Hi there, Robert. That has been some time, you know, that like my channel's been deleted. I was just curious, like, when will I be hearing back about my appeal? Because every time I talk to any of the Google support team people, they're like, yeah, we see that you have an appeal about like your channel being deleted. And that's just kind of where you're at. And I'm like, okay, I've already waited for a little, almost like 2 months actually. I've waited for almost 2 months. By the end of this month, my channel will have been deleted for like 2 months. So I was just like, I literally wrote, I'm like, will I be able to hear back about my appeal by like 2024? So like before the end of this year. And yesterday, the person that was messaging me on Google support, it's like always a different person, which sucks because I really like the first person that I talked to. His name was Richard. That was super helpful and actually told me like which video I got my entire channel terminated for. And I know what I said during that entire video, and none of it ever broke any community guidelines. So anyways, the rest of the people from Google support, I felt like I didn't like nearly as much as the first person, who was like extremely helpful. But either way, yesterday's person, I forgot their name, but they were like, oh, we still can't, like, we can't give you a timeline. So basically, I don't know if I'll ever get my channel back. And like, I didn't even get a rejection. I didn't even get a no from these people. Robert Fix It, which video? I'm not gonna talk about it on YouTube just because I don't know if it's gonna benefit me or not, but let's just say I know which video and I know exactly what I said in that video and I know what I've said in every single video of mine, and nothing breaks community guidelines. As in, I don't tell people to do things that are not right. I don't tell people to do things that are illegal, or promote bad things, or even swear in my videos. So I know I never broke any community guidelines. That kind of been like triggering me. Honestly, I've been like really, really upset about it. Like I'll have my days where obviously like really enjoy my trip. And I love New York. So for those of you New Yorkers, I do have a couple questions, I guess, about your city on my trip. Because I was literally like, I was doing 20,000 to 25,000 steps every single day in New York. I was living in Manhattan, and city's absolutely gorgeous. Went all over the place. I went like all the place. Like I've been to New York in the past, and honestly, it's been so long that, like, it felt like going to a new city again. Like, I went to the Rockefeller Center, I did like, I saw the Statue of Liberty, but there were so many little bits and pieces that I haven't done. Um, Wish I could have met you when you were here. Oh, I didn't know you were in New York. Thank you, Abraham. But yeah, I was just, like, literally running around. I met up with a friend, in New York as well, which is really lovely. But I didn't get to actually be in Brooklyn. Like, I walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. I was dancing on it in, like, the middle of the night. I walked across the Brooklyn Bridge, but I didn't actually get off, in Brooklyn. So I was still pretty much just in, like, Manhattan the entire time. So I hope to visit, I guess, more spots, other places. And I don't remember ever being in Queens. And I learned that Flushing is like this big Asian community, might be like the biggest Asian community I feel like in the US is what I'm told. I've also never been there. So just like a lot of places I feel like I still have yet to check out. But I have seen Chinatown. Um, Wall Street. Finally saw the Fearless Girl because I think she was put there. Like there's the bull, right? The Wall Street bull. The courageous bull? Is it the courageous bull? Or she's the courageous girl? I forget. But the Fearless Girl was new. I know that because I remember reading about it and finally got to see it. I don't even think I saw the bull, honestly, in the past. Nice, like now that I'm more versus like if I ever did pass by and like didn't care for it back then, because I know when I was a kid I didn't care for Wall Street. Anyway, speak below for Webull Smart Advisor. It's a new program where if you fund it $100, getting $10 back sometime in July, as stated. So that was pretty much do all the work for you and invest. If that's something of interest to you and you don't really like to trade your own specific stocks, or you want a portfolio on the side to just kind of like do your own thing, or have it work for you, check that out. Link down below for Webull Smart Advisor, which is a new thing. What I want to say, yeah, so I loved New York. I loved all the food, and I feel like I ate more Italian food and more cheesy goods than I did in New York than like I normally do in LA. The pizza was so good. I finally understand why everyone says that New York pizza is honestly the best pizza, because literally any basic pizza that I had in New York was like 10 times better than like anywhere else in the world. Um, and going to like a fancy, like I would honestly compare like a $5 pizza to, oh, hi there, Vic, welcome. Um, I would compare like New York's $5 slice of pizza, and I'm mentioning Joe's Pizza. It was one of my favorites. It's like iconic, but I can't believe I never had it before. So Joe's Pizza's like $5 piece of pizza, which is, by the way, huge. Um, that is like honestly equivalent to me, like in terms of flavor, freshness, the chew, all of it was as good to me as like Bottega Louis, like expensive 40 $50 entire pizza with like a couple pieces. So worth it, and I would be back honestly just to try like more pizza places. There's two places that I really liked, so if you guys ever go to New York, I highly recommend. I'll try to make more videos about like all the New York good foods that I liked, but let me know down in the comment section below if there's certain pizza places that keep saying chat moved. What happened? So for those of you guys that do plan on going to New York, I do have two recommendations for pizza places. One is Joe's Pizza, so just Joe, Joe, like a cup of Joe, Joe's Pizza, which is really famous. And I didn't know that it was included in like Spider-Man. At least the one that I went to, it's like the OG spot, and they had all these pictures of like celebrities going there. Who was there? It was like Anne Hathaway. There was images of like Jessica Alba. I think like a couple like Marvel characters. But Spider-Man, they had this big sign that said one of the Spider-Man movies was like filmed there. I'm not sure if it's the one with like the newer Spider-Man or the older one, but I thought that was cool. Ooh, and Prince Street Pizza was really good. Prince Street Pizza is more like thick though. Joe's Pizza, I think I liked more than Prince Street Pizza. Joe's Pizza is like the thin ones, and Prince Street Pizza was like very thick, but their spicy Italian sausage one was to die for. Like unbelievable. The box was like huge. And they're like in rectangles, so very different, I feel like, from Joe's Pizza. It's two of my favorite pizza places. The only thing I was kind of like, I think I really wanted to fit into my busy schedule that I didn't for New York was seeing the Dumbo like photo hotspot. Where like I didn't know this, but TikTok has like all these locations, and I actually found the location of like down under Manhattan Bridge, like the photo-esque place where you have like two red brick walls and then you have the bridge behind you taking pictures. That spot is like on TikTok. So I actually couldn't find it right away on Google, but then I typed it into TikTok and it like popped up as like literally it says Dumbo famous image place. So I guess now people can just, I guess, use TikTok for like travels and stuff. I usually don't, but I didn't have time to go and take a picture there. I took a bunch of photos and videos. Um, like Joe's better. So you like Joe's more than Prince Street? I do too. I do too. I feel like Joe's is better than Prince Street. Where in Manhattan? Southern? Honestly, I don't know. I stayed at the Conrad. So Conrad downtown New York, you can look it up. And I honestly didn't know too much about the area. I just know that I was like close to, well, literally like the view is the Hudson River. Um, and across from me, actually, I was chatting with the doorman, who I really liked. The doorman at the hotel that I was staying at, uh, he was hilarious. He was telling me that because I was like, "Oh, you must see so many celebrities," and he's like, "Well, it's the same for you guys in like LA. You must see a lot of celebrities." I was like, "No, actually, I don't see like a lot of celebrities out on the street," but he was like, "Yeah, like celebrities are just like a really like norm thing in, I guess, the Fide district." He said that right across from the Conrad, that I was like literally like the building across from the hotel that I was staying at, is where Leonardo DiCaprio supposedly has an apartment. Well, he said that he does have one, so I don't know. Just do your own DD. Don't quote me. I don't know how true this is because I didn't see a Leo walking out of the apartment. But again, it's not like I hang out around the hotel. I'm usually like elsewhere walking around. But apparently he was like Tyra Banks and Leonardo DiCaprio has a place like across from the hotel. It looked like a really like a really plain apartment though. So I honestly I wouldn't have ever known. Um there was also a place that I passed by on the High Line. I love the High Line. I think that's a new thing, like a new installment. I never heard of it before, like a decade ago. But the High Line's really cool. It's like a old, I think, abandoned railway, a railroad. And then they have like all these flowers and plants, and it's just like a really long walk. I think I walked on it for like an hour, but I was like stopping to take pictures and stuff. And you can just see like all these beautiful new and old buildings. One of them looked like fish bowls, and I swear I saw it on TikTok before because some guy was doing this like whole thing on Taylor Swift and about how like she wrote about fish bowls in one of her songs. I don't know which one, even though I listened to like all of Taylor Swift songs. And I think one of them she was like writing about how it felt like she was looking out from a fishbowl, and then people just kind of like connected the dots and was like, that's the fishbowl place, like the fishbowl house, where when you're walking across the High Line, it's like somewhere in between, like you'll basically pass by the condo, I think it's condo or apartments that look like fishbowls. They have just really interesting architecture. I will give that to New York. I feel like everything great about New York is like all man-made, so it's just like a bunch of hard work. Like I love California still. Like I think I'll always be more West Coast than East Coast. Like if I had all the money in the world, I don't know who wouldn't want a place in California, and honestly like and in New York as well. But if I had to pick one, I would just stay in California because I think I like nature more. But it was a nice change of scenery. Highly recommend you guys like go and check out like another coast, depending if you're like staying on the East Coast. Maybe check out the West Coast every now and then. Um, hold on, sorry. Uh, did you see the Statue of Liberty? Yes, I did. I mean, I don't think I got really close to it because I just took the ferry, the free ferry that goes to Staten Island, and saw it like from far away, like on the ferry. And I love the ferry. I only got to go on the ferry like this one. It was like a giant orange ferry. I don't know if they come in other colors, but I only went this one time, like during my like trip. If I had more time, and honestly, if I lived in New York, I would probably go and just like chill on the ferry and just like think about life because I thought it was so relaxing, just, like, being on the ferry. There were so many seats. Like, honestly, you could play hide and seek on the ferry, and, like, it would be so much fun because actually huge. Like, yeah. I don't think I don't go on ferries often, actually. New York is old city, LA way newer, legendary says, but it's weird because even though if, like, New York is old city and LA is newer, as you say, when you go to New York, like, everything in New York feels newer than, like, downtown LA. Like, I love LA still, but, oh my god, downtown LA is, like, I don't feel safe. Like, I don't feel safe. I would need to, like basically, every time I go downtown LA and, like, meet with friends or, like, go out with my SO or whatever, we're just, like, headed towards the place that we wanna go, and then we peace out and then, like, get back into the car. Like, I don't feel safe just, like, chilling around. But, like, at 1 a.m., like, I was walking around, like, 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning, and, I think it was yeah, I went to Times Square in the morning, um, and also just, like, back at the Fide district, and there was, like, no one on the street. There was no one on the street. It was super peaceful, and there's just, like, yeah, you guys know. You know when you go downtown, like, LA. It's not clean. There's lots of stuff, I will not say what it is, but it's kinda sharp and gross on the floor, in LA. and I kind of wish that wasn't there. And I mean, it's understandable. I understand that the weather is just obviously the way better in LA, so it's kind of like the homeless people want to be where the weather's better at. And technically, where the beach is at, that to me is like if I'm homeless, that's just like a shower place for me. Um, Even though they kicked a bunch of homeless people, I heard like off the beaches to other areas in California. But yeah, like in New York, it's really nice in the summer. I was like actually amazed that the weather was so nice. The weather was amazing. Did you take the subway? Yes, I finally got to. I've never taken the subway in New York, and I finally took it. I took it like 3 times. Um, when like during my trip, this trip, and I do see why it's like so many people take the subway in New York simply because it literally can get you anywhere and the lines are so insane. I've taken the subway in Korea. I've taken the subway in China. I've taken a subway in Canada, but only in Toronto, Canada, and once in Vancouver, Canada as well. And I think that the the New York trains itself is old and needs an upgrade, in comparison to, like, the newer ones in Toronto, and even the old ones I've taken in Korea and China are way more advanced, I feel like, than Canada and the US will ever be. Um, but but besides that, the trains in New York, I liked more than the trains in Toronto, which is, like, my most freshest memory. I don't like cloth, and, like, in Toronto, they have these, like, clothy covered seats that I don't like because like, okay, if someone threw up on it or like, things got wet, it would just be gross. But the New York seats are like plastic, so I think it's just easier to clean. But with that being said, it felt like the technology was lacking and it was kind of behind. Um, because for example, like the trains in Korea and like Canada and China, I've seen like they have um all the stops, like, everything's, like, digitized. Whereas, like, I don't know if I just got unlucky and the trains I went on in New York weren't. It was just, like, I had to really pay attention to know where I was going because it just there's not enough, digital signs inside every single train slot. Does that make sense? But I did like that they have express trains. I didn't know that, like, in New York maybe they do have it in Korea and China too, but maybe I just don't know about it. Um, but, like, the express trains were pretty cool. To know that, like, sometimes if you're lucky, I guess you could hop on the express train and just goes faster. But trust me, like, it was being in New York just feels like tourists asking tourist questions because there were these 2 girls that went partying, and they were asking me where to go, and I was like, "I'm not from here. I don't even know where I'm going." But I realized, like, I ask a lot of questions to tourists, and they always end up being tourists. Like, I always think they're from New York, but they're not, or, like, the people I talk to on the street are, like, very new. The only girl I think I spoke to that was, like, a New Yorker, she's only been there for, like, 4 years. I'm like, "Everybody's kinda new," or maybe I just always pick the new ones. Um, no, I didn't get to go to a baseball game, like, I was lucky that I have family in New York, and, so one of my family members just kind of, like, set up this awesome Excel sheet trip itinerary, and I pretty much follow that itinerary to the T, but obviously had, like, some other arrangements in it. So I did a lot. I did a lot in a week. My favorite place was well, one of my favorites. I think I like the Met more than Times Square. I think I'm over Times Square. I went to Times Square, like, 3 times. A few times I feel like it was just by accident, but I used to love Times Square when I was a kid. I was like, "Oh my god, it's bright lights, it's fun, it's just never boring," which I still agree with. But, I got sick of it by, like, my 3rd round. I'm like, "Enough of this, too crowded." I'm good. Like, I do want to be crowded again, but I wanna be crowded in, like, Tokyo. Like, Shibuya? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that famous, like, crossroads. I wanna go there. I feel like I'm okay with being, like, people crowded and stuff like that over there, but I'm done with, like, the New York crowdedness. Because after a while, I'm like, "Okay, it's just billboards." Um, so that was fun. I like the Met more. I wish I had more time at the Met. Um, I went there and I was there for like under 2 hours. And I took so many pictures on the steps, like stairs of the Met that I don't think I spent enough time on the inside. But yeah, just about under 2 hours. But if I lived in New York, I would go to the Met like probably once a month and until I'm like sick of it and like memorize most of what's there. But it was nice. It was nice to go. That was probably like my favorite place. I didn't know the Met was the largest museum in America. But then like after going and then Googling that, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's beautiful. Like I've only gone to the museums in Washington, DC, like just because I was there at one point and I had a lot of time to go visit all the different museums. I really, really enjoyed all the different types of museums in Washington, DC, which all I think they were beautiful too. But yeah, the Met is something else. Other than the Louvre in France, which I feel like is my favorite museum of all time, and I believe that's bigger. I'm almost positive it's bigger than the Met. So besides European ones, I think the Met it is the best one, in comparison to, like, anything anything else in America. Um, oh, something to complain about. Yeah. Oh, wait, well, hold on. Uh, what is okay, I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. I'm just doing something. Give me 1 second. So yeah, something very unfortunate. I feel like my life is just filled with, like, these random situations lately. Um, hold on. I'll be back. Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna go soon, but what was it I want to say? So yeah, something really unfortunate happened to me today. I gotta catch a break, man. This whole year has been pretty great and then also terrible, like just absolutely terrible. Um, Raw food writer, did you go with your guy? You mean my SO? Yeah, it goes with me like most places. I mean, sometimes I go on trips without him if he's busy like working and stuff, but I go with him to many places. Um, okay, so my laptop today, I realized broke. And I freaked out and I actually thought that it was a virus, like um or I got hacked or something because I've never dropped my laptop, okay, like my MacBook Air. I I never like dropped it and saw a crack. But then all of a sudden like it was fine yesterday. I was using it. I opened it today and it was just like these crazy lines running through it. I could still see it and then it was like running crazy lines. So I was like, "Oh, maybe that's just like I didn't drop it." So I was like, "Maybe something's just wrong internally." So I shut it off and I turn it back on and then the screen just wouldn't show, but then I could see that the screen is on. Then I'm like pressing around the edges and see like a random circle on the right side and then as I click it, I see the light like shining through like these cracks. But then I don't see the actual physical crack. And then I connected it to my TV right now. So I have access to my computer, which is not broken, but the monitor is broken. And it's not broken as in like there's a crack, like a physical crack. So it's like internally there's a crack. Like, how does that even happen? I've never had that happen to myself or anyone I know. But basically, my laptop screen is broken now, and I didn't even drop it. It's just literally like somehow a crack appeared inside the screen. So it is broken and it doesn't work. But then when I connect it to another monitor, it's fine. I don't even know how much it's gonna be for me to replace it. So yeah, kind of sucks. Um like I said, I've been meaning to buy a MacBook Pro. So I guess this is the time that I have to force myself to spend money on my MacBook Pro. Like I obviously have savings, and I can buy one, but I was just waiting for like later, and now I kind of have to do it now, which sucks. But I was also tried to fix my laptop too. I don't know how much it will be. Um, James says he gets mad when I'm in the chat. Who gets mad? Um, so yeah, that was kind of like the bummer of the day. Just randomly having my laptop break for no reason. And I know I didn't drop it. So like I don't know how this internal damage even like honestly appeared. But I've had the laptop through the pandemic, so I guess it's been at least 2019, probably 2020, 2021, 2022. It's been more than 4 years. But still, I've had laptops and I've had computer monitors for like over a decade, and nothing's kind of broke like that on me, and that's never happened on my cell phone. So it just like really confuses me how like one can get a crack within the machine even though you didn't drop it. So yeah, just like so weird. Yeah, so that kind of upset me. But then I'm really happy because I'm watching a K-drama that I really like. So I guess I'm easy to be pleased. I was just like, I watched Selling Sunset when I got back. Send it to Louis Rossman. What? I don't know who that is. I'm just gonna send it to like some laptop place, but I'm not gonna give them my laptop. I don't trust that. I'm gonna go somewhere to ask them if it's fixable, and then probably get the screen piece, and then try to like have them fix it right in front of me. That's what I trust, or give it to me so then I can replace it myself. But I finally watched Selling Sunset, which there's a new season 6. I don't know if yeah, I think I told you guys about Selling Sunset. I love it. I mean, I'm into real estate, so obviously I haven't been a good real estate agent, I feel, in the past years of me having my license. I just don't work hard enough to advertise myself. Like I don't even hand out my business cards to people or like close friends. So that's kind of bad. I need to do more of that and just advertise myself and go out, and I think it's called farming when you're giving your business cards away. I need to do that sometime. But I keep going out like and traveling, so I don't know. I don't want to give away my card and be like, oh, I'm around, and then like I go on a trip. So this year might still be rough for me because I know I have other trips planned too. Sorry, I lost my train of thoughts. Oh, yeah, anyways, I watched Selling Sunset season 6. Absolutely loved it. I binged it within like literally less than 2 days. And then I was on TikTok and I was like just scrolling through random stuff. And on my TikTok, they recommended me, or like they showed me a clip of this like really romantic story. It was like a K-drama, and I thought it was new. So I looked it up on Netflix and it's not there. It's called She Was Pretty. She Was Pretty. Then it's not on Netflix, but I found it somewhere else, and now I'm streaming it on another platform. It's so good. For anybody who is interested in K-dramas, long story short, it literally is kind of like the title. So basically this girl was like in high school. I think they were in high school, or maybe it was middle school, I forget. But she was like this popular, gorgeous girl, and there was this boy that was like new to school, and he was like this fat, chubby little kid that like everybody bullied, and she was just like super nice to him. They clicked, and then they were kind of like each other's first love. And so when they got older, they were kind of separated. And then when they got older and met again, I think like in their 30s or whatever, he got really, really good looking. And then she, for some reason, like developed these unattractive traits that she blames her dad for, which honestly wasn't even that unattractive, but they gave her like really fuzzy hair and just like patches of red on her face. And they called that unattractive. And only one season. Are you talking about the show that I'm talking about? The K-drama, which is When She Was, wait, it's not called When, it's called She Was Pretty. That one is just one season. It's just 16. Usually K-dramas are just like about 10 to 16 episodes or so. And it's just like one season. Yeah, it's just one season. I wish there was more. So I'm watching that now. It's so good. But I took some time off to chat with you guys. And I'm going to go back to watching it and try to forget about the fact that I totally randomly had my laptop broken. You're traveling and living life right now. You're not worried about no job right now, selling houses. Nearby Manhattan is Jersey, I think, J. James says. Yeah, I actually went to New Jersey. for like a short amount of time, and that is really surprisingly close to where I was staying at, which is like very, I guess, very south of New York, because New York is like this, right? I'm very bad with geography, but New York is like this. This is Times Square, then Central Park, whatever, nearby. I was staying all the way down like here, where like Wall Street is, like the financial district. And then above me was like Tribeca. That was also a cool area. Yeah, if I was like super rich, guys, I'd totally buy a place overlooking Central Park, which I heard goes for like $5 million per apartment, which is like a studio. I forgot the name of that tower. I don't know if it is literally called Central Park Towers or whatever it is, but there's that one really tall, skinny building that overlooks Central Park, and it's, yeah, really expensive. I don't think I would ever be able to afford something even for $5 grand a month. Not $5 grand, sorry, $5 million to purchase. I don't even think some of these condominiums, like, they allow you to rent. Some of them are just for purchase only. But the rent, I did like chat with a few people, and I figured out that rent is more expensive in New York by like at least $1 grand. So for example, if you rent in like the West Side, LA, close to the beach but not really like on the beach, it'll be like $3,000, let's say, for about 700 to 800 square feet. In New York, about 700 to 800 square feet, you're paying like closer to 4,000. And I heard that a lot of the landlords are now upping the prices that they couldn't increase during like COVID and stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a heck of a lot more than just even $4,000 for about only 700 to 800 square feet, which is crazy. That's just so insanely expensive. And I also learned that I chat a lot. I learned that I'm not sure if, like, don't quote me for all hotels, but the hotel that I was staying at, apparently the cleaning ladies, or something, they're called housekeeping attendees. I don't know. But anyways, the people who clean your room, they make like near $40 an hour. So like between 35 to like 37. I forgot the exact number that I was told, but between 35 to 30, like $7 an hour, which is crazy. That's so much. I did not know that they get paid that much, but apparently it's like unionized, and apparently that's considered normal because that's how expensive, I guess, New York is. But that's insanely good money, and that doesn't even include like the tips that they get. So wild. Good life in New York. I just can't do it though. I feel like I don't want to live in like this tiny, tiny, tiny apartment. Like, my place is small enough, but it's even smaller there for like the cost of like an arm and a leg. So it doesn't really make sense to me. Yeah. I am to answer or respond to you guys, those of you that think I'm living the life. I think it's all mental, like it's all here. Like, I do feel happier than ever. It's just being able to like do whatever I want every single day and not really have anybody to report to like I did in the past when I had all these different bosses, different jobs. It feels really good to just kind of like be on my own. And obviously, like, I have all these different social media platforms and all these different types of accounts, which I recommend you guys checking out. Link down below. If you're not following me or subscribed to me and on all my other accounts and platforms, please do so. Really appreciate it, because you never know when one of these platforms are going to go down for me. And yeah, like, despite all of the annoying things that have been happening that are completely out of my control, which is kind of life, I think this year it's been really rough for me, but at the same time, I'm also living my life. So it's confusing. Like, I'm happy, but I think my happiness comes from like myself. It comes from me believing that even though all these bad things are happening, like, I'll be okay, because I just refuse to allow things that are out of my control to destroy me, even though I get that I could make that. Like, I could make that the essence of my life. Like, having my laptop broken for no reason, really, like, honestly, it makes me want to Hulk smash something. But, and then, like, my YouTube channel and, like, my TikTok lives got banned. Just all these stupid little things that occurred to me. And I got my finger cut yesterday. You see my cut? I got a cut yesterday from opening up a condensed milk. Like, you can't even make this stuff up. I was opening up, like, a tin jar, like a metal thing, like a metal can for condensed milk, because I was just making coffee for myself yesterday, and then it just, like, slipped me. I broke a plate yesterday. I just have really, I don't want to say, like, it's just bad luck. Maybe it is, but just, like, all these, hi there, Joseph. Yeah, there's all these, like, random little bad, weird things that's been happening, and I could make that everything. Mental health important. Oh yeah. Sometimes I do just want to give up though. Like, sometimes it is hard, and it's like, dude, why do I have all of this bad stuff happening? Because, like, some years no bad things happen. 2020, I mean, 2020 was bad for the world, but honestly it was great for me. 2020, 2021 was like a slew of awesome things. Obviously, crypto and stocks booming too, but that's just like a portion of it. I literally didn't have anything really bad happen to me. And then 2022, 2023 mainly is like WTF. I just don't get it. But I believe that if I could make it through this year, you think you have bad juju? I think I don't know. I think this is an off year for me. Like, I've never had so many things that are negative happen to me in such a short span of time. Like, I believe in like, you can't have that many coincidences. But then maybe sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I'm creating it because I already feel like something's wrong, so then more bad things are going to happen. Or maybe it's not that, and I'm just connecting the dots, and there's really no coincidences. I don't know. Probably just falling wedge, and you should, what? Break up soon? I don't know what that means about my luck. What? So yeah, it's good. I do think I will make it. I think I'm over this year. I don't see my luck turning around anytime before the end of this year. I'm still hopeful though, but some days and go to sleep the whole day, like nothing crazy happens. I'm fine. Like, I'm actually really content now on just like a regular life with no random bad things happening. I think peace is joy. Yeah, I don't want like random bad surprises, but I'm still grateful for like overall my health, because despite all the things that happen, and recently my face being wrecked, which is kind of funny because my face was literally like as bad as the girl in the show that I'm watching right now, the K-drama I'm watching right now. Did you see the Empire State Building? Of course I saw the Empire State Building. I really like Bryant Park. I wish that in LA we have more parks, to be honest, but I know the parks would just end up being trash and have a bunch of tents there and stuff. But Bryant Park was so cute. I want to go back one day when they put the skating rink, apparently. Rockefeller Center, I saw the rollerblading there. That was cute. The Lego store was the best. I have this addiction to go to like all these Lego stores now, all over the world. After I went to the one in Barcelona, I'm just like super impressed. And I thought that would be like the best Lego store, but no. New York's Lego store was even better than Barcelona's Lego store. And probably because they have all the Marvel stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me on my live stream. I will be back. I can't guarantee I will do it every single day. It's mostly like, when I have the time. But I have been working on many other side projects. Even though I can't share everything on these platforms, I have been hustling. I've been hustling and bustling and making money, working on other skills. So that's good. And I wish you guys luck and fun in whatever endeavors that you're trying out. And yeah, and recommend me, I guess, other TV shows and stuff to watch once I'm done my She Was Pretty K-drama from like 2015. Thank you, Jay James. Yes, New York trip done, but I will